On this page, you will identify that I have included 3 timelines. 1 for our IAS16 principles, 2 for our IAS40, and the third one for our IAS38 principles. Now, why is it important for you to be able to distinguish between the different principles within the different standards? Remember, when you read through an integrated question, you will receive one paragraph and you need to be able to identify within that paragraph which standards will be applicable. Therefore, you need to know how to recognize and measure the asset within that standard. Now, we are going to look at our initial recognition first, from a theory discussion point of view, that you need to be led by the number of marks available. Therefore, guys, normally when you look at your assets section, you will have to discuss your asset definition in terms of your conceptual framework. Then you need to identify that you need to discuss the definition in terms of the applicable standard, being IAS16, 40, 38. Then the next important thing, once you have identified that this is an asset within our 3 standards, you need to know how to initially measure this asset. Now, when you look at IAS16, this will be at cost. When you look at IAS40, this will be at cost. Now, extremely important with IAS16 and IAS40. The standard indicates to us the costs that should be included and excluded. Therefore, you need to ensure that you know which costs you need to include and exclude. Now, when we look at IAS38, there is 5 different types of how an intangible asset can be acquired. Now, the first type will be based on a separate acquisition. Then you need to recognize this asset at cost. Again, IAS38 will indicate to us certain costs will be included and certain costs should be excluded. Number 2, through a business combination in terms of IFRS 3. Now, I'm pretty sure you know, at fair value. Number 3, IAS20, government grants. Now, guys, excluded from our psycho-examinal pronouncements. Number 4, exchange of assets. Now, important, the principles regarding our exchange of assets for IAS36 and IAS16 is exactly the same, guys. Therefore, when you study this is the same principles. Therefore, you only have to study this once, exchange of assets. Then number 5, our very important one, internally generated assets. Now, guys, this is NB. When you look at these 5, our first one, separate acquisition, is important, and our internally generated assets. Now, internally generated assets are divided into a research phase where you need to know you will have to expense the costs, and a development phase. Now, the development phase can be capitalized only if the following 6 criteria are met. Now, guys, all of them, this is an and.